When we think of crime, our minds often jump to movies and TV shows depicting dramatic heists and intense police chases. However, the reality of crime is far more complex and pervasive. Crime rates can be influenced by a myriad of factors, including economic instability, social inequality, political unrest, and cultural dynamics. Understanding these rates provides insights not only into the safety of a region but also into the broader socio-economic challenges faced by its population. Here, we explore the top 10 countries with the highest crime rates, delving into the underlying issues that contribute to their standing. 1. Venezuela. Venezuela's crime rate is one of the highest in the world, with rampant violence, kidnappings, and drug trafficking. The country's economic collapse has led to severe poverty and unemployment, creating a breeding ground for criminal activity. Caracas, the capital, often tops the list of the most dangerous cities globally. The lack of law enforcement and judicial corruption exacerbate the problem, leaving citizens vulnerable and justice elusive. 2. Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea faces significant challenges with crime, driven by poverty, unemployment, and a lack of education. Violent crimes, including armed robbery, sexual assault, and murder, are prevalent. The country's tribal conflicts and limited police presence further complicate efforts to maintain order. Urban areas, particularly Port Moresby, see high levels of gang activity and violence. 3. Honduras. Honduras has long struggled with high crime rates, particularly in its urban centers like San Pedro Sula and Tegucigalpa. The country is plagued by gang violence, drug trafficking, and corruption within its police forces. Poverty and lack of economic opportunities push many young people into criminal organizations, perpetuating the cycle of violence and instability. 4. South Africa. South Africa's crime issues are deeply rooted in its history of apartheid, social inequality, and economic disparity. Violent crimes such as murder, rape, and armed robbery are common. While the country has made strides in addressing these issues, corruption and inefficiencies within the police force continue to hinder progress. Urban areas like Johannesburg and Cape Town are particularly affected. 5. Afghanistan. Afghanistan's prolonged conflict has led to widespread lawlessness and crime. The Taliban's resurgence has further destabilized the country, leading to an increase in violent crimes, kidnappings, and terrorism. The lack of a stable government and effective law enforcement allows criminal activities to flourish, leaving citizens in a constant state of fear. 6. Trinidad and Tobago. Despite being a relatively small country, Trinidad and Tobago faces significant crime challenges. The nation's strategic location makes it a hub for drug trafficking, which fuels violence and gang activity. High murder rates and frequent robberies are major concerns, particularly in urban areas like Port of Spain. 7. Brazil. Brazil's crime rate is driven by factors such as poverty, social inequality, and a vast network of favelas, slums, where law enforcement presence is minimal. Violent crimes, including murder, robbery, and sexual assault, are widespread. Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo, among other cities, see high levels of gang violence and drug trafficking, exacerbated by police corruption and brutality. 8. El Salvador. El Salvador is notorious for its high murder rate, largely driven by gang violence. The country's infamous gangs, like Mississippi 13 and Barrio 18, engage in extortion, drug trafficking, and brutal killings. Poverty, lack of education, and limited job opportunities push many young Salvadorans into the hands of these criminal organizations, perpetuating the cycle of violence. 9. Jamaica. Jamaica's crime issues are primarily driven by gang violence and drug trafficking. The island nation's strategic location in the Caribbean makes it a key point for drug transit, leading to violent conflicts between rival gangs. High rates of murder and robbery are common, particularly in urban areas like Kingston. Social inequality and economic challenges further exacerbate the problem. 10. Mexico. Mexico faces significant crime challenges, particularly related to drug trafficking and cartel violence. The country's powerful drug cartels engage in brutal violence, kidnappings, and extortion. Cities like Tijuana, Juarez, and Acapulco are hotbeds of criminal activity. Corruption within the police and judicial systems complicates efforts to combat these issues, leaving many crimes unpunished and victims without justice. Conclusion. Crime rates in these countries reflect a complex interplay of socio-economic factors, historical contexts, and institutional challenges. While each country has its unique issues, common threads of poverty, inequality, and corruption run through many of them. Addressing these problems requires comprehensive strategies that go beyond law enforcement, focusing on economic development, education, and social justice to create safer and more equitable societies. In the end, understanding the root causes of crime in these regions is crucial for global efforts to foster peace and security. Only by tackling these deep-seated issues can we hope to reduce crime rates and improve the quality of life for millions of people around the world.